Elena Panaritis, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, is the Conservative Party anti-women? Or to put it another way, how worried should the Tories be about their apparent lack of appeal to women voters? A leaked document from Number 10 this week suggested that many women find the Conservatives a turn-off, although the problem may be wider, with some women giving up on politicians of all parties. We asked the former Tory candidate Charlotte Weir, who's launching a new centre-right think tank on women's issues, to give us her views.
If I had a ribbon bow to tie my hair and
Women's roles have turned upside down since they won the vote in 1918.
get a sweetheart, a prince or a king.
Out of the home and into the workplace, teaching, inventing, leading. But despite obvious improvements, women continue to be the junior partner. And the Conservatives haven't done enough to help. In fact, they've been mostly missing from the debate on women. Far too often, they're not looking at policy through a female lens, and this has become more evident over recent months. Government cuts are hitting women more than men. Smaller budgets for Sure Start and a change in the retirement age have caused problems. Some in government even blamed single mothers for the riots. Rhetoric like this has led to calls that the Conservatives are anti-women. But this week, we've seen the start of a charm offensive. A leaked Downing Street memo mooted some good ideas around child benefit. But do these ideas go far enough? It's not just about party politics. It's much bigger than that. When it comes to talking about women, there's only one game in town: feminism. I think feminism is a toxic, battle-hardened and arrogant philosophy which is being manipulated by those at the extremes of politics. Feminism has had its day.